Hey guys, my name is Cy Huffer, and I'm the intern here at Carterville. Today our text was Leviticus 14:33 to 26:26. Make sure you read that. But also, I just want to talk to you about this text. It's really interesting. There's a lot of things going on here. It just seems kind of random, like all this shotgun effect. Like first you're talking about mildew, then a scapegoat, and then you're talking about all of the Day of Atonement, and then you're talking about these feasts, the Feast of Weeks, and Tabernacles, and first fruits, all this stuff, and it's all in this text, and you're just kind of like going, what do I do with this? It's all just kind of random. And Leviticus it's a hard book to read, and I congratulate you for reading it or getting ready to read it. So what do we do with this? As I read over this text, I kind of noticed this theme going on about don't be like the Egyptians, and then don't be like the Canaanites. God's, of course, talking to the people of Israel, his people, and as you know, as you've read, that God rescued them from Egypt, and they're leaving the Egyptian culture, and then they're coming into the Canaanite culture. And so God doesn't want them to be like the people around them. The verse kind of comes down to Leviticus 19:2. This whole text does. Be holy as the Lord your God is holy. Holy meaning the Hebrew word kadosh, to be set apart. It's to not be like those cultures. You see, that as I lived in Egypt, they had kind of adopted the practices of Egypt, and then as they're going into Canaan, God doesn't want them to be like the Canaanites. That's why he's driving the Canaanites out, because they're evil, and he doesn't like the way they live. And then he's bringing the Israelites into it, and he's saying, don't be like the Canaanites, and don't be like the Egyptians anymore. You need to be set apart. And there's kind of three areas I see specifically that I just thought I'd bring up to you guys that I saw in this text, how they're supposed to be set apart and holy. One is they're supposed to be set apart by their sexual practices. And it talks a whole chapter in chapter 18 about not having sex with your sister or your father's brother. I mean, all this crazy stuff. And he's saying this because that's how the Egyptians and Canaanites lived. But God's saying, no, you don't be like them. You need to be holy and set apart. Be holy as I'm holy. Another area was the area of Sabbath, to rest. You work 6 days, you rest the 7th day. And it's not for your own gain, it's for a denial of yourself. It says that from the Day of Atonement. It says you need to rest because it's a denial of yourself. And then the third one is your finances, these feasts. Chapter 23, bringing all your first fruits to the storehouse to have these great feasts, and then not collecting to the edge of your field, hoarding it all for yourself, but allowing people to come in, the poor and the aliens to come gather that. And so those are the three areas I kind of want to talk to you about today is, one, are we being holy from our American culture and the culture around us in our sexual practices? Are we being pure before we're married, and then when we're married, are we committed to that one person? But that's not kind of the culture that we live in today. We got to be set apart from that culture. Two, are we resting? Our culture is very fast-paced. We want to keep going. There's no time for rest. But God commands work 6 days, rest the 7th day. Are we being holy in the way we rest? And three, our finances. Are we just using all of it for our own gain? Or are we celebrating what God has done and giving to the poor? Are we being holy, set apart from the culture we live in?